Welcome back, you guys. We're gonna get out for another one. Today we're gonna go to a tri-state marker. I'm gonna go ahead and go stand around in not one, not two, but 3 states at one time. So let's get this party started. Was sitting around last night trying to think about, you know, where should I go? I felt like just an hour away was not enough last time I got home, or at least got back in the area, and was like, man, you know, I kind of still wish I was out riding. So today we're gonna shoot for a solid 2-hour one. Not exactly sure if it's gonna take us any different ways, but I figured, hey, why not? Plus, I've never been to a tri-state marker at all, or really any of the markers. I think I went, well, obviously I've seen the welcome to Arkansas sign, but I haven't seen any of the other ones. So I figured, you know what, we might go see some of those at some point in time too. I know that I looked online and it looked like the Texas welcome sign wasn't too far away. There's this tri-state marker that wasn't too far away. I do have a trip planned to go see this like leg lamp, like off of A Christmas Story. Pretty sure that's the movie it came off of. But it was 3 hours out, and I'm not sure if I want to commit to a 3-hour ride one way today or not. If it was a little more thought out in advance, not just something like I was like last night, I was like, man, where should I go? Then I'd go ahead and do it. Plus, I kind of want to save some of the longer trips for me and my grandpa to go do. But I will say this. If he cannot make his schedule line up, that does not mean the party will stop, because I have all intentions to be seeing as much places as I can this summer and throw as many miles down on this bike as possible. So we're about to jump on the highway. I think I'm gonna go ahead and come back in whenever we enter a good point to start rolling again, instead of just seeing the same old stuff around town. See you guys soon. Alright, you guys, so currently it's taking us back through some towns we've already been through. We're in Pryor right now again. If you watched the last video, it's that little town where the people, so there's the old storage units. The people were making their exhaust go pop, 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 pop. So far, it's just, like I said, it just took us pretty much every way I've already gone so far. So, I already passed the Amish house. So, I think that it's just taken us through some places we've already been. So, I haven't necessarily been recording too much just yet. Just simply because I don't want to show y'all the same towns over and over again. Not unless, you know, I have to for some reason. I'm sure eventually I'll run out of areas in Oklahoma to go do videos. Then at that point in time, we can kind of deep dive into some of these towns maybe, but at the moment it's just all a bunch of stuff we've already seen. Still pretty interesting coming out here again though. A good benefit of making a trip, or multiple trips that kind of take you through the same ways, is if you're looking to get to know the area, right? This is a good way to go ahead and kind of mentally map out the areas where you're at, because, you know, there's only so many times you're going to go through a town or go to a town before you know how to get there. And the more you know, the farther you can go. I mean, of course, that's not completely the case, just simply because of the fact that we got a GPS, but, you know, could come in handy, you know. Back in the days, people had to use actual maps to get everywhere. Could you imagine actually having to do that? Because me personally, I cannot. I'm pretty sure I could learn to read a map. That wouldn't be too hard, but in all reality, why learn how to read a map if I don't got to? But I'm sure I'll end up learning how to read the map anyways, because with as much time as I've been spending on Google Maps, looking at the maps and learning where everything's at, I'm slowly getting acquainted with Oklahoma, if it makes any sense. For the longest time, I didn't actually really venture out too far, but now I'm definitely trying to get out there and go see some stuff. Good old coppers hiding behind stuff over there. There has been quite a few cops out. I think it was kind of funny because the last time my grandpa told me, watch out for the cops, right? Especially in this town. Well, actually he said it back in the Amish town place or whatever. But regardless, there's been a lot of cops out today. There really has. And these little backwater ass towns, they'll get you, man. They will get you. So it looks like we're coming up on some more just straight shot highway. Alrighty, so we're definitely in a part. Look at that big old cross, big old part that I don't know. We kind of turned off on the right hand side there, and so I figured I'd come in here for a second because it doesn't look like we're going to be blowing 80 down this road. With the fact that I've been through some of these towns now already once at least, I kind of know / don't know where I'm at. So instead of just doing 60 on the highway, I have been blowing 80. And I will say, that's pretty neat. I will say this bike is a trip when it comes to the kind of power it has, right? Because I can cruise at 80 at like 3,000 RPMs almost, and it just holds it, man. It holds it comfortably at that. It doesn't even feel like it's struggling or anything. You can still get on it to get around and go past. There's some cows for you cow people out there, but yeah, it's really different. The more I've had this bike, and now that I'm doing trips on it, you know, I can definitely tell where and where it isn't, for as far as where the power is at, honestly, because it's a dangerous intersection, boys. I can see why there are probably people flying down this fucking intersection like crazy people, and then they just get whacked right out here in the middle of fucking nowhere. Which this place is flat as normal. It'd be a trip to actually be able to go to different states more often and be able to learn their environment, you know. Look at that big old herd of cow. That's some fine cattle right there. But that would definitely be really cool, because after we finish up Oklahoma, who knows, we might have to start hitting different fucking states. I mean, surely I can't just always stay here in Oklahoma. But I will say, the more that I have gone and seen out here, this is really cool. I mean, Oklahoma has a really diverse landscape. There's places where you can go where there's mountains. There's places like this where it's just fields, I guess you could call them, a prairie or something. I'm not exactly sure. but it's really interesting. And I've seen a few channels that are like solely over Oklahoma and traveling, but obviously they all do something kind of different. So I'm hoping that this is different enough to but this bike has really been a game changer for me. I used to think that my Sportster would, my Iron 1200 would do it pretty well, but I can see what they were talking about now when they say that once you move up to the bigger bike for the long distances, you probably won't miss the Sportster, because doing the speeds I was doing, I would be revving the piss out that Sportster. I'd probably be up there near 5,000 RPMs, almost damn near pretty much the entire time. And it really still wouldn't feel all that safe neither. But at least with this bike, you know, I can sit at that 80 miles an hour and it's not stressing the bike out. So it really feels like we could just be doing this all day long. And the gas consumption is the biggest part of it. Right now, this is a really pretty landscape. Right now, I haven't stopped to get gas since I left. Right? I got my gas and then I took off. And I'm 48 minutes out from where I should be on a 2-hour trip. I think I just finally dropped a bar or two on the gas gauge. So, you know, running at them low RPMs really does make a big difference. So I'd have to say, man, I'm loving this bike so far. And there's no way I would have been able to do this on that Sportster S. I was sitting there yesterday, I was really thinking about it, because I was like, man, surely this bike it's just not that much more comfortable. Man, it really is. When I went out to Arcadia, man, that felt like it was torture on the way home. I was like, man, I've got to do something. And I didn't necessarily want to move away from the bike because of how flipping fast it is. There's a bunch of smoke up here, and I just watched a car drive into it. I wonder what the heck we're going to be experiencing up here. But I really didn't want to move away from that bike because of how fast it was. It was so darn fast, for me at least. And that's not even a sport bike, but it did set a precedent. It showed me that I do love both of these worlds for as far as it goes. I love to just cruise and go do this right here. And I wouldn't trade this for going fast. But man, eventually I will have to get myself a sport bike. It just sucks that the new Sportster S is gonna be so damn much. But I'm sure after some time they'll probably get cheaper, they'll get unpopular, and if I still like it, I may be able to get it in the future for a better price. I know I bit the bullet for the next guy who's grabbing mine. And what I think is honestly kind of funny right now, wow, look at this. Let's see, there's that fire I was telling you guys about, what they got going on down here. Whee! That was smoky. Wow, that hurt my eyes. It's like I got smoke in the helmet still. That was definitely different. Ooh, where are we entering now? Open and updated. Look at this, you guys. This is pretty. Oh my gosh. Ain't this just scenic? And see, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. You gotta love this random ass shit you find in Oklahoma. I mean, honestly. That is so cool right there. Such pretty water too. But if I was gonna say something, give somebody some advice on if you really love your Sportster, not the S, but a regular Sportster, right? And you're debating on whether or not you really need a bigger bike, man, if you don't want a bigger bike, but you need the bigger bike, you know what I mean? Honestly, I'd say the Street Bod's going to be a really good choice for you. I found that with my grandpa's Heritage, not the one he has now, the one that I showed you guys, but the one he had before that. It was a 2018 Heritage with the 114 in it. That fat front tire up front is a killer for me. I really don't like it. And the funny part is I didn't realize I did not like it until I got my Iron 1200 Ingram Field, because my Suzuki Boulevard had a C50T, ooh, old Z28, it had a big old front tire, because it's basically a Heritage clone, you know what I mean? They're just ripping it off as much as they possibly can. Look at this. Where? Strang? Yeah, Strang. We got a moderate fire warning out today. Wow. This is a definite place. That's neat. But I didn't realize I didn't like it, because that C50T was my very first bike. So I just thought the bike itself was kind of burly to move around, and I didn't find out until I had got my Iron 1200, which had a skinny front tire, not a fat front tire, that, oh man, this right here means so much to me. I like being able to move the bike around. It gives you the feeling of like you're just on a motorized bicycle. It's not so damn, you know, like a hoss to move around and shit like that. So you can actually get on it, and if you need to get over, you can just push it right over. It's no issue. But when you're on one of the bikes with the bigger front tire, and they're made this way for a reason, it's not as easy to do that. But what it does do is it reduces tracking. One thing I can't hate, like right now, I don't know if y'all can see it, but the lines in the middle of the road, I can very much get this front tire stuck in those lines. Not like it's gonna lock up or anything, but I can quite literally get it in the front of it, and it'll move the front of my bike around like this number on you while you're riding. And at high speeds, you really don't want that. And if you're out there doing 500-mile trips one way, I can see how that would make a huge difference, especially if you're only moving 70, 80 miles an hour, which is the majority of what you're going to be moving when you're out there on the highway and not on the back roads doing what I'm doing right now. So I can see why they put the big front tire, but man, I just haven't come around to it just yet. Even on that Sportster S, that was one thing I always thought was dumb. I thought that ruined the handling of the bike, because it did. The bike could have been so much more nimble and got around so much better. They slapped a front tire on that was a little better. But it kind of makes me wonder, did they put that front tire on there so it could hold highway speeds and stuff like that a little bit better without them having to make a super fancy front suspension setup? Because putting that bigger on the tire, the bigger front tire on it, is a easy fix to stabilize the front of your bike without putting much into the actual suspension itself. I notice whenever I'm going around and turning around 80 or 90 on this thing, it can kind of get a little, it doesn't wobble on me, but it doesn't feel firm anymore. It feels like I should need a steering dampener on it or something, which I probably will add to this bike eventually, because this is going to be like a sport cruiser type motorcycle to me. And then, but I'm not gonna, like I told you guys before, I'm not going to go too far with it. Eventually I do plan on grabbing myself an actual sport bike to get that kind of fix for me. So it looks like we just entered J, home of the Bulldogs, apparently. This place definitely looks different. That's kind of cool looking. I guess they say they look different, but a lot of these towns are just like one straight road through it. Maybe I'm only seeing one road, and that's the one road I take through it. But as soon as a lot of these have got one main road that goes down through them. But that might just be most towns in general. J-Way Cafe. What is this? L&L Outdoors. Those look kind of neat. Stopped at a little gas station called the Pit Stop so I could take a piss stop. That was nice. It's a little nipply out today. I thought it would warm up, but unfortunately so far it has not warmed up, and it's almost 12:30, so I don't know if it's really gonna warm up all that much. I'm pretty sure what all was gonna warm up had probably already warmed up, which it's not that bad while you're sitting still. If you're sitting in the sun, it feels great out, honestly. A DG market, what is that? I've never seen a DG market. I see they still got a regular Sonic like we got. That's nice to see. It's nice to see. Don't you hate when other towns have better stuff than you? A Harps. I don't even know what a Harps is. They got a Casey's there. I might stop there to get me some gas on my way back. Been trying to figure out what's the farthest I can get on a tank of gas, so currently at the moment I am just getting it on. I think I've done like I think it said like 80 or 90 miles so far, and I've got about a half a tank right now, so I think it's doing pretty decent on gas. Look at this. I think we're about to be going into the main heart of this place real quick. Yep, I'm assuming this is their downtown area. Wow, that's a not red brick, but I tell you what, it looks good. I like it. I really like it a lot. It's a little neat little town area. Green Culture Dispensary. It's kind of funny how like 5 years ago you'd be thrown in jail or prison for weed, and now they've got billboards slapped up everywhere for it. It makes me feel bad for all those people out there who got in trouble for smoking and thrown in jail and shit. That is neat. The woodshed, that's pretty neat. I think we're going to be taking a right up here. Yep, right next to this police officer. Hello, Mr. J. Right there, state line, 12 miles. I think we're close, boys. I think we're close. It got really hilly at some point in time back there, and I noticed that we don't got no more red brick stuff. It's all this white brick. So I wonder if that has to do with something more with the area that we're in. Hey, look, there's a Phillips 66. I think we're coming up on it. We should be coming up on it right now. Alright, you guys. Look at my windshield. It's been obliterated by bugs. And I myself have been obliterated by bugs. But check this out. Right here, you guys. We could say it. I just walked into 3 different states right there. Missouri, 1821. This is pretty cool. This would definitely be a cool historical marker to go check out, you guys. It's pretty neat. It's pretty easy to miss if you're not paying attention. It's on your left hand side right here, right across from this Phillips 66. At first I did just miss it, but it wasn't very hard. After I turned around and looked, I could see it. And I guess you can see these lines right here. I guess that's the designation between what state you're in. See, just like that, we're in Oklahoma, Missouri. But I thought this would be a pretty cool one, you guys. Thanks for coming along. Like, comment, subscribe. And if y'all made it to this far into the video, go ahead and click that bell icon. That way you can get all the content. You guys, peace out.